Welcome back, everybody. We are about to hop into our third and, as always, final adventure of the evening, which is entitled Dreams Really Do Come True. And before we get into that, also, as always, we are going to introduce our heroes. We have a fabled tier adventure for the final one tonight. So without further ado, let us begin. First up, we have Othgarurt. Welcome back, Othgarurt. How are you tonight?
I am feeling very dragon.
Very dragon, you say?
Yes, I have nice cardboard wings.
Oh, wonderful. It seems then that you are in sort of the Carnival of Souls spirit.
Yes. Friendly tree person helped me make wings.
Well, that was very nice of that lumberling, I suppose it must have been.
Yes.
Now, Othgarurt, how has life been as you haven't been a fabled tier adventurer for all that long now? How has life been as a kind of a fabled tier adventurer? Are you adjusting to the fame at all? You're of course known as the Bone Knapper.
It is definitely different. People recognize me now. Some people even talk to me.
How do you feel about it? Do you like it, or is it a little bit overwhelming?
I would have to say both. Very different, but very good different.
That is good to hear, Othgarurt. And obviously, by the nature of your costume, you obviously celebrate the Carnival of Souls. Do you have any particular kind of favorite Carnival of Souls tradition? Is it the costumes for you? I imagine as a craftsman, that's an important part. But
I am very new to this carnival.
Oh,
this
okay.
is my first time, but I am very interested in this.
Very good, Othgarurt. Well, I think that you will find that you have a lot of fun enjoying the kind of festivities around here. So welcome tonight. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Next up, we have, it says on the screen, Fluffy, which is not the case, as Fluffy is big and scary and mythic tier. But we have Woosh, if I am not mistaken. How are you tonight, Woosh?
Hiya, Pete. Everything's fine.
Oh, that's good. It seems everything's very straightforward for you tonight. Just like, doing good. Another day on the job.
Yeah, I've heard about this Carnival of Souls before. When I was doing my underwater tour, I heard it from Fluffy. He mentioned it, and because I asked how he got that weird skeleton costume he always seems to bloody wear.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it, that Fluffy always kind of wears that costume? It's easy to forget that individual is literally always in a skeleton costume.
No, he's so polite. It's just so strange.
Yeah, it's just you just look right past it because of how kind of pleasant Fluffy always is. But what have you heard about the Carnival of Souls? Are you kind of excited to take part in the festivities today?
Well, it's always people. It's always great for advertising.
Oh, yeah. There's certainly, it seems in the kind of crowd that you're in, a lot of children are present.
Ooh, always wonderful to affect the youngins.
Yes. Well, I look forward to hearing what wonderful songs you play tonight. Whoosh.
Thank you, Pete.
Of course. And next up, we have the Moonborn, Elysia Silverblood. How are you, Elysia?
Doing great, Pete.
Now, I was going to, always so cheerful, which I do love. Now, I know that you, Elysia, you and your father are, I believe, very familiar with the Carnival of Souls. Do you have any kind of, like, family Carnival of Souls traditions?
Father's been rather busy lately. Apparently Roger put in quite the order of all that liquid moonlight. So actually, that's very interesting to hear. That was Lance that has been putting together all of that liquid moonlight, huh? Yeah, that's why he's been so busy these past few weeks.
Hopefully he can kind of take a break at some point during the Carnival of Souls and get a chance to, go out and enjoy himself a little bit. I'm sure he works very hard. But for you, Elysia, are you kind of sporting any of the liquid moonlight, or are you kind of holding off on that?
No, I mean, whenever I need to, I can already,
Yes, of course.
glue the moonlight when I need. It seemed a bit of a waste to take some out of Roger's order.
Yeah, that I certainly can understand that. And Elysia, do you have any costumes? Are you dressing up for the Carnival of Souls today, or are you going kind of straight ahead?
Well, I've always been wearing my vestments, so I thought I might wear a little bit of a chain. With Bartholomew being such a great wizard, I decided to dress up as a wizard myself. And she gives a bit of a twirl. You see sort of simple but very fine-looking red robes and a very interesting pointed red hat with a also red eye patch on her left eye.
Wonderful. This costume sounds a bit familiar to me. So Elysia, you have this excellent wizard costume. And it is good to have you tonight, Elysia.
Always great to be here, Pete.
And last but not least, we have ChoGal Hammerfist of the Soothing Voice.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing tonight? Hello, Pete.
Oh, hello, ChoGal. Your voice, of course, as always, just puts me very much at ease. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've actually just released my Halloween book.
Oh, your Halloween book, and a new feature is coming out. Is this like a full-length novel? Is this as big as your other ones? Or, of course, you mean a Carnival of Souls book, yes?
Yes, it's a Carnival of Souls book.
I know that there's some, traditionalists who refer to it as Halloween from that kind of, very old sort of...
Yeah, Halloween.
Yes. But your Carnival of Souls book, tell me about it.
Well, it's actually a children's book. It's more for parents to read their children, to scare them into not doing bad stuff.
Oh, geez. ChoGal, that sounds a little bit out of your kind of normal style.
Generally, yeah, but I actually got a parent and child to come in and, let me study them so I could tell what scares children and also what parents like.
Well, I mean, how has it been selling? Has it been taking off like a lot of the other ones?
Actually, it hasn't been selling too badly.
Oh, that's good. Good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I guess since it's also labeled as Carnival of Souls, it flies off the shelves.
Yeah, of course. It's just sort of like, the pumpkin spice foods this time of year also go up. When you see the Carnival of Souls books, especially this time of year, they're liable to definitely do better than they normally would. But I'm glad to hear that the new book as well. And ChoGal, did you come in costume today, or are you just
you might recognize my costume. You see that ChoGal is wearing what looks to be a golden plate mail looking thing. It's a costume that looks like golden plate mail, but it's made of cardboard. That he made himself. He's also wearing.
That looks very familiar to me.
He's also wearing this helmet that kind of looks like the top of a crocodile, maybe, or some sort of other.
Or maybe some kind of dragon.
Maybe some kind of dragon.
ChoGal, are you maybe dressed up as Kurogan the Great?
What? No way. Absolutely. Yeah, you caught me.
A Kurogan fan, huh?
Yeah, he's my favorite. I have all the collectible trading cards.
Who isn't? Well, ChoGal the Great and Powerful. Welcome tonight. Let's dive into our adventure tonight. As everyone is sort of likely aware, this adventure is taking place at the Slumbering Spine, where Bartholomew is, of course, still holding his Bartholomew Says Dreams Come True charity fundraiser. And for you fabled tier adventurers, he has set aside an particularly important job. The culmination of the charity fundraiser event is a big variety show that is being hosted for the children, where specifically some of their best dreams, some of the dreams that the child themselves have had conjured into the plane of dreams, are coming to this plane to perform and put on various acts, which is going to be very fun for a lot of the unfortunate kids here. Bartholomew has hired you to provide additional security for the event and to make sure it goes very smoothly. But before we kind of get into that, I'm curious, of course, as you're probably saw Bartholomew, since he's having these adventurers from all over the place coming in today. There's a lot of help needed at the fundraiser. There was a kind of his usual solstice treats were left in a take one bowl. There's a couple of bowls there that you could pick from. Did you guys have time to grab any of the magic items out of the bowls?
I did.
Oh, I suppose just rally it off. ChoGal, what do you got today?
Well, so I saw this really cool helmet. It has thread on the back. It's what it, well, or it's really on like a tag or something. This dread helm or something like that. I haven't put it on yet though.
The dread helmets, they're certainly very stylish. Although I don't know if they're necessarily the perfect fit for the shining gold armor that you wear, but certainly a good look. Did you get anything else, ChoGal?
Oh, yes I did. I actually found this cool mishmash of blades.
Oh yes, the Frankenblade, that must be. Yeah, Bartholomew kind of, magic items break a lot in enchanting, and he just takes the scraps and throws them together to see whatever comes out. Usually makes some interesting results. So yeah, you got yourself a Frankenblade, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good. What about you, Elysia? Did you grab anything?
I actually did, Pete. Well, I'm sure you've seen me in my battles before with my Radiance, so I figured that getting the hat of the Bat Hat, yes.
The Bat Hat, yes.
The Bat Hat. I grabbed one of those and another bottle of the Liquid Moonlight. I figured I could give those to Father, and then he could fly and glow pretty too.
But of course, Elysia, always so generous, really caring about your family. I respect that about you, Elysia, greatly.
Thanks.
And next, Woosh, or Whoosh. Woosh, what'd you get?
Oh, dude, that blade looks mighty appealing. I'm gonna get me one of those.
Yes. So you take out your own kind of. Yours is probably a bit more narrow of a Frankenblade, but a Frankenblade nonetheless.
Mine's a big one, a really big one.
Yeah. What is your Frankenblade? Is yours perhaps a great sword?
You could call it that. It looks disgusting, but I love it.
Yes. And Woosh, you have kind of your rapier Frankenblade.
I'm a strength bard, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. In that case, whatever it is that you ended up grabbing is what you have. You tell me. But what else did you get?
I didn't get anything else.
Oh, fair enough. And last but not least, Othgarurt. What'd you go with?
The Frankenblades were very popular. I too got a great sword of many blades. It's in a way very pretty.
Yes, the Frankenblade was definitely kind of a popular attraction on there, as there's so many, just powerful warriors that love to kind of swing around those swords. Good thing Bartholomew made so many of that one in particular. But Othgarurt, did you take something else? Did you take kind of a secondary item as well?
Yes, I grabbed the shiny bottle. I thought it was a energy drink at first. I got it all over my teeth.
Oh. Well, I look forward to seeing your smile. Is it kind of, how would you describe it, Othgarurt? Is it now kind of very pleasant and, is it pleasant or is it scary when you smile now?
I would think it would be somewhat scary.
Okay. Well, that sounds, again, your shiny teeth, sort of a Chip Skylark here. I look forward to seeing those in action as well, almost like a new weapon in a sense. Very good. So, the four of you, as I'd mentioned, you'll be providing security for this event. As you approach, you can see people are kind of coming down and around from their various, sundried Carnival of Souls activities. You can see the game booths. You can see children kind of coming back from the scare snacking from the Maka village, and it's just a very it's a very pleasant and happy scene here.
That's
you
nice.
can. Yeah, it is. It's very pleasant. The Dreamwalkers are kind of assigning children to their seats. You can see in the back, in what is the outdoor auditorium that has been set up for the event, the stage itself has been set up very much like a carnival tent to kind of mimic that appearance in honor of the Carnival of Souls, or very much like a circus tent almost. However, the rest of it is kind of an outdoor venue. At the back, there's some kind of like raised seating that has been set up, where it looks like there's a lot of kind of just miscellaneous dignitaries and just kind of nobility looking sitting up in the seats, all of them dressed kind of to the nines, unlike the costumes that most of the kids are wearing, where they're presumably there to kind of set up and watch the show and then give for the actual fundraiser portion of it. And the Dreamwalkers are seating children in front, where they're all kind of sitting cross-legged on the greens, getting ready for whatever the show is going to be. As you kind of approach, you can see Bartholomew kind of standing off to the side of the stage, and he waves you over. And he looks, as you've seen him growing increasingly for a time now, he looks absolutely exhausted. This event seems to have taken a pretty big toll on him. He looks
killed walking like that.
I haven't died too many times. I'm sure I'll be just fine. I need you to take care of the event. You know what to do here? Do you know what to do? He just looks kind of confused, a little bit delirious.
Protect them, right? You want us to protect the people at the event?
And make sure they have fun.
That's a good one. He points at you, Elysia. Make sure that they're fun and that they have it. And talk to her. And he points over at Soam, the leader of the Dreamwalkers, who's kind of off to the stage. She's just kind of standing. She has her kind of Dreamwalker monk robe. It looks like a bit of a more formal one. And she's there kind of like, looks like she's reciting lines to herself over on the side. She's better at saying the word. She's better. Talk to her about the event.
Okay.
And Bartholomew you see him kind of slump over like he's about to kind of like drift off, and then he kind of pulls his head back up and goes, soon, so do it now. Is that all good?
Yeah.
I think you should try a nap.
The event's soon. The event's over soon, and I'm much too busy to sleep.
Come on, Bartholomew. We have to keep it fun, and it's no fun if you're so tired. You got to take care of yourself.
I will take it under advisement. And he steps kind of across the stage, and there's some applause as he walks over, and they think it seems like the show is kind of starting, and then he just keeps walking across the stage and doesn't do anything, and everyone looks a little bit confused, and Bartholomew's definitely out of it, as you can see. But the kind of leader of the Dreamwalker Monastery, Soam, looks over at the four of you and goes, hello. I had requested some of the top adventurers from Bartholomew specifically, if you would like to come over and join me for a moment. We have a bit of a special job for you. We have a pretty good security coverage around here, and you can see the monks kind of dotting the outside of the space. We do not need you for security, but there are some unruly acts that are back here. Some of them are having a hard time getting going. You know how dreams tend to be. They can be a little bit wonky sometimes. So if you could just make sure that everyone gets on stage at the time that they are supposed to. I have a list here for you with all of the acts. I just want you to essentially go stage managers and see that everything shows up on stage in the correct order and at the right time. Is that something you think you can handle?
Yeah, let me just get on my stage manager's helmet.
I just completed performance, so stage management is up my alley.
That's perfect.
ChoGal pulls out his dread helmet and puts it on.
Okay.
Alright, I'm ready.
Oh dear.
Scare him on stage?
That is a little bit terrifying, and by a little bit I mean significantly. But I think I have to go soon. Don't worry about the first act. They are very efficient, and they are very punctual. I do not think there will be any issue there. But make sure everyone else is ready to go. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
I'll take the manifest.
All right, and yeah, she gives it to you, and you see she walks on stage, and now there's kind of some more proper applause, and she kind of goes up and addresses the mic and says, Very good. I thank you all for attending. We are about to begin the variety show here at the Bartholomew Says Dreams Come True charity fundraiser. We hope that you both enjoy the acts that we have here, especially you children. And there's some kind of like laughter and kind of applause from the kids there, as well as those of you who are here to give. We hope that you do so very generously. So without further ado, I give you our first act of the evening, the marching band of the Geef. And you watch as a whole marching band of hippos walks up and onto the stage, and they are all wearing this like big kind of like military military uniforms, but with like the big kind of like marching hats. And they're all carrying big brass and drum instruments, and they begin to play and march around the stage in various patterns. The kids all kind of cheer and applaud as they begin playing kind of like a very kind of carnival-y marching tune. And Soam kind of walks off the stage, and she says, "All right, I have to go get ready, and I have a few things to attend to myself, but make sure the next one's ready at go time."
Alright, I look at the schedule. Who's next?
You look at the schedule. On the schedule, the kind of order of events, the next one says it is Tedward. The one after that says Terry. The one after that says Fairy Godmother. Then it looks like the Dancetron 5000 is on the act. And then you see, lastly on the list, Barnabas's big barking troupe. Can
I get the third one again? I missed the third one's name.
The third one would have been the Fairy Godmother.
Fairy Godmother, thank you. Alright, does it say where Ted Darrett? Oh god, who's number one?
Tedward?
Tedward. Does it say what dressing room is in, if there's dressing rooms here?
There isn't really dressing rooms, but kind of behind the stage, as you're all walking back there now, you move into this space, and there are tons and tons of strange, dreamlike creatures in here. They are kind of flying around. You see all of these small, like, colorful dragons. At the back, you can hear the sounds of them kind of warming up and singing. You can hear what sounds like, or what you can see very clearly, is a huge group of talking dogs that are all there just kind of harmonizing and getting together for some kind of big choir that they have set up. And most notably in this space, you can see a giant teddy bear and a huge sort of cartoonish looking dinosaur that are kind of in the middle of the room arguing. On the far side, you can see a huge robot that's like breakdancing, and all of these figures in this space. It's just kind of chaos back here. Yeah, what do you do?
Look to Woosh. So, who's first? After
guy named Tedward. Does it give a description of who Tedward is?
It doesn't. It just says Tedward, Terry, Fairy Godmother, Dancetron 5000, and...
Okay, we have to find a Tedward. I guess we're gonna do a lot of yelling.
Yeah, ChoGal's gonna, find somewhere to stand on that makes him higher than most of the other people around.
Okay.
And then yell, Tedward!
You see, like, that big giant teddy bear, which is kind of in this argument with the cartoonish Tyrannosaurus Rex. He's got kind of, he's holding something up at him, and they're in a little bit of a shouting match. And you realize that the thing that he's actually holding in his hand is a great axe that he's, like, levying at this T-Rex. And this big teddy bear kind of turns around and looks at you, and he goes, "Hold on a second, I have words with this guy first."
Let's go break it up. Looks like there's about to be a fight.
And
we should go do that.
You hear the big kind of T-Rex go, "Yeah, he certainly does. T-Rexes are way cooler than teddy bears. Teddy bears are for babies." And the teddy kind of looks at him. "Absolutely not. Teddy bears are for everyone. Everyone loves a hug. I'll show you."
Can I cast suggestion?
Yeah. What do you want to cast
T-Rex?
suggestion on?
I suggest to the T-Rex, well, maybe teddy bears are better for today.
All right. He is going to
Wisdom saving throw.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Do you want to put the spell up? Or
Oh
lord.
He fails. Yeah, throw the spell out.
Oh god. Just close the sheet back. It's fine. Ready. Click. Boop.
All right. So you suggest a course of activity, more or less, for duration of concentration, and all right. And so, yeah, he kind of looks and goes, "Oh, yeah." The T-Rex kind of deflates a little bit and goes, "Well, T-Rexes are great, no two ways about it, but teddy bears are pretty good too." And the person that must be Tedward kind of looks at him and goes, "Yeah, you're not kidding. Wait a minute. Are you agree? I don't buy it." And you see he goes and picks up the axe and goes to swing it up at Terry.
ChoGal's gotta stop this. ChoGal is going to take the axe.
All right, roll for initiative.
Nine initiative. Yeah, that's ChoGal, all right.
Woosh is
Way to do us proud, ChoGal.
Tedward. Tedward rolled a 4 though.
Hey, get to go before Tedward.
And Terry is also going to roll because he's about to get hit. So, very good.
Alright, Terry, I think you should leave. He's being hostile. He doesn't want to agree with you. He's just one of those argumentative types.
Well, the first to act in this case. Hold on, just a second on that. As the first to act is going to be Elysia. What do you do? As you see Tedward pull back the massive axe.
I'll kind of just come over in front of him. Tedward, put that down! You are a teddy bear. You're supposed to be cute and cuddly. You shouldn't be holding such sharp weapons. He's already said that he agrees you're better, and clearly you're much softer and cuter.
You shouldn't leave him laying around then! As he's still swinging the axe down. Are you taking an action, or are you trying to persuade, or...?
I will just spend my action trying to persuade him to put it down and kind of scolding him.
Alright, go ahead and make me either a persuasion, yeah, it's probably definitely a persuasion, or intimidation. You're chastising, so I'll say either of those. Persuasion 25, oh my god! He kind of swings the axe down, and you see kind of, he's kind of like loosening his, he kind of like loosens his strike a little bit. He's not gonna hit as hard as he was, but he's already kind of like mid-swing, so it's gonna be a little hard to pull him back on the first one. But you can see like a real remorse in kind of in Tedward's eyes at the moment, as I'll say you have kind of like in the contest to pull him off of this guy, you have like one success right now. And anything else on your turn, Elysia?
That will do it for Elysia.
Terry absolutely takes your advice and just goes, "I'm gonna go back to practicing." And you see he kind of like takes a few steps back and he pulls out three kind of red rubber balls and just starts kind of juggling them again in his tiny little arms.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
And that brings us next to ChoGal. The axe, like he's like still kind of stepping forward and going to swing with the axe. What do you want to do, ChoGal?
So, ChoGal is going to get in the way and also try to stop the axe. So even if he doesn't manage to stop the axe, at least, he'll stop it from hitting someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, go ahead and make me a athletics check. Yeah, it's gonna be a contested athletics check up against.
20.
Pretty good. Tedward's strong though. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Not strong enough. You throw your hands up in front of the axe. You kind of have like two successes now in this kind of contest to try and prevent him from attacking. That's going to bring us next in initiative 2. That's going to be you, Othgarurt. What do you want to do?
Well, Tedward.
I shall.
Oh wait, no, Tedward's 4. Othgart's 6.
Is there 2 Tedwards? Why are there 2 Tedwards then?
Oh wait, yeah,
that's weird. It rolled a bunch of times. Oh, I'll go with the. I don't know why that happened. I already said Othgarurt. Yeah, go ahead, Othgarurt.
I shall assist in holding back the axe.
All right. Also, make me an athletics check. All right. Oh yeah, it's also going to be tough to beat, but he's tough as well. Yeah, you felt it was the exact same roll. That makes a lot of sense. As you push down, Othgarurt and ChoGal, you both kind of reach up and grab onto the axe, and from Elysia's words, brutal. Yeah, you grab onto the blade. It kind of cuts into the cardboard armor through to your actual armor, and the Tedward kind of looks down. Oh, I guess I was being a little bit mean, wasn't I? And he kind of lets the axe kind of slump down to his side, and he kind of goes, I guess I better get ready to go on. I gotta give lots of kids hugs out there.
Yes, you do. Learn from your mistakes.
Okay. Sorry. And...
Okay, you're good. Alright. You better get there. It's like, it's almost time for you to get to stage.
And yeah, he kind of walks over away to the side and starts kind of stepping up to the stage. And yeah, your next act is ready. You kind of are hearing the applause out on the front stage as the GIF that were out there kind of finish up their marching tune. And, you know, Tedward kind of gets ready. You hear some... kind of cue up another little introduction as she walks back out stage and announces Tedward's arrival onto it. You're ready for your next act, or you're ready to get your next act ready, if you will.
Okay, let's see. Who's next?
I believe it was Terry. Terry?
Indeed, it is.
The Tyrannosaurus, right?
Who's Terry? Oh.
Alright, let's go to him.
Oh, hey guys. Sorry I was acting so strange before. I don't know what came over me. And he's just kind of juggling his little tiny red balls in place. He's pretty good. He's doing some like cool tricks and stuff with them, throwing them over the top. At some point he kind of breaks out a couple more and can do 5. He's just there juggling. I'm really excited to hop on and perform.
You juggle better than a friend I know.
That's amazing. How long did it take you to learn that?
Well, I always knew how to do this because I was dreamed into existence knowing how to juggle.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's just me. You know, life is a dream, or life is a dream. You know what I'm saying?
True in the dream.
You pretty sure you're gonna do well out there? You don't want any help?
Yeah, I feel pretty good actually. And then you see his face kind of like twitches and shifts a little bit. He goes, actually, I'm gonna go get some candy. And he just turns around without even like a moment's notice. The juggling balls just kind of drop down to the ground, and he starts kind of walking off out of the arena over towards the kind of like the kind of candy section. You sense celestials, fiends, or undead. You sense the presence of a celestial nearby. Actually, no, it wouldn't be a celestial. You sense nothing.
Okay, Terry, make sure you're back soon. You're up next.
He goes, maybe.
Yeah, there's something going on. I'm pretty sure that was really weird.
If something just tried to charm him, he's already charmed by me.
You actually, on the subject of which, you feel your charm lose effect.
Oh. Guys, something just happened to him. Magic. My magic stopped working on him.
Do we have to go wrestle him now, too?
I could always suggest him just to come back.
That
That's a good point.
I guess I could see if my... Yeah, sure, another suggestion. Get back here, get ready for stage work.
If we brought candy here, maybe he'd come for the candy.
I would like you to make me, not a suggestion, but I would actually like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Or, I guess he'll make his wisdom saving throw in a second, but before you do, I'd like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oh, there
You feel, as you're about to do this, you feel a charming effect begin to come over you, and you're, what's up? And then it just doesn't happen. You're too good at this. You know how to do it yourself. And you make a suggestion on
Terry.
You make a suggestion on Terry, who's going to make a wisdom saving throw. And what do you suggest?
Sadly, that beats it.
Oh, really? In that case, yeah, Terry just keeps. You suggest that he comes back and just kind of waits patiently, or he just goes, "Nope, give him candy.
Wait.
I'll be back to deliver the candy."
Right?
Yeah, it's a wisdom saving throw for him.
Can I do cutting words?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I expend one of my bardic inspirations to cutting words. That's a minimum of 1, and 13 will fail.
Oh, perfect. In that case, Terry goes, yeah, okay, I'll come back and wait here. I guess I'll go back to practicing. He picks up the the red balls again, and almost immediately, you watch as, once again, he goes, actually, you know what? No, I really need that candy. And he walks off and starts going away again.
I'm going to grab his tail this time.
All right, make me a contested athletics check.
I'm
Something to him.
helping.
Yeah, you're helping, but unfortunately, we'll see. Yeah, the Tyrannosaurus Rex is very strong.
Can I search around to see what's causing this?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check in the space.
12.
12. Yeah, you're looking around. You see the talking dogs, and you're like, yeah, it's definitely not talking dogs. You see, the various acts. It's not the hippos who have kind of walked back. That they were just marching band hippos. You're just like, there's no way it's them. They don't have it in them. And you see one figure who a lot of figures seem to be coming to, and that is a woman who is dressed in a very elaborate kind of bright blue dress, and is kind of got tons of frills. It's got like fairy wings on the back of it, and you don't actually see the spell, but like the little kind of baby dragons that were flying around in this place keep flying over to her and delivering her candy, which is definitely a bit suspicious.
ChoGal's coming over. Very angrily.
And yeah, Terry kind of, as you go to grab onto the tail, Othgarurt kind of wiggles the tail and moves away, and just kind of keeps running off out of the tent to go get candy. You hear him kind of stomping. Tedward out front is getting around kind of like the halfway point on his particular act of just giving kids lots of very soft and cuddly hugs. And you come up over to this kind of woman who looks at you and just goes, yes?
Why are you using magic on the T-Rex?
I have no idea what it is that you're talking about. I usually make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my God. 18.
That is going to succeed.
ChoGal's also going over like, hey! What's going on here?
Oh.
What are you doing?
You say, what are you doing? She goes, nothing.
So
I don't believe you.
Nothing at all.
Insight.
A little dragon kind of flies over and delivers a piece of candy. She kind of plucks out of the dragon's claws and goes, thank you, dear. Unwraps it, eats it. I love the season.
You're not the fairy godmother by chance, are you?
You've heard of me, I'm not surprised.
That's annoying. Well, there goes my...
If you are fairy godmother, can you make me real dragon?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And she points at you, and all of a sudden you are a real dragon. But you feel the same. But yeah, you guys now see a terrifying dragon standing next to you, in the form of Othgarurt. I grant children's wishes, that's my act.
All this time, I have been as strong as dragon? But yeah, your body kind of moves, and it's weird, you're seeing you're feeling the ground, your hand hit the ground where it's actually touching it, or your feet as you kind of go over on all fours like a dragon, but the claw reaches way out beyond where your hand actually is. This is dizzying.
Could I figure out what type of magic she used? Like, if it was suggestion like me?
You make an Arcana check. You are certain that it was some type of enchantment magic. You think that whatever enchantment magic she used is of a significantly higher kind of tier, because the T-Rex wasn't just like
the T-Rex wasn't just walking away, it was kind of zombied and zonked out, unlike when you suggested, and it was just sort of like, it had a feeling that it wanted to do that, but this was just like direct control.
Fluffy, do you have any idea what's going on? Woosh, do you have any idea what's going on here? I feel like she's lying to us. I can see it in her wings.
Make me a wisdom saving throw, ChoGal. As you say that.
Oh, no.
And ChoGal, all of a sudden, you just feel this weird kind of like calm, and the fairy godmother goes, "Absolutely nothing's going on here, darling. On the subject of which, if you could also just go and fetch me some of those delicious sweets, I would love that so much. I'll need quite a few before I go on stage." You can see that at this point, Terry kind of comes back, stomping into the space, and ChoGal, naturally, you feel extremely inclined to go and do the thing the fairy godmother asked you.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go get some candy.
Can you get me a piece, ChoGal?
You pass by on the way out, Terry, who kind of looks down at you, and goes, and just kind of looks at you and goes, "I guess chocolate's her favorite if you can find that," and keeps walking back with now his tiny arms as full as they can be with candy, which he just kind of like dumps in front of her, and she kind of looks up at the T-Rex and goes, "Feed them to me," and points down at them, and the T-Rex kind of bends over with the arms and starts kind of like putting them, putting them in her mouth as she goes, "Ah, tasty, tasty."
Don't you think the children will be sad if they don't have any candy left?
"Oh, there's plenty of candy here. Bartholomew's so rich he can just conjure more. I don't know why he even sweats it."
I heard that there was actually a trouble of candy being taken by people who should not take it, and that they were running low on candy.
Well, of course they won't have a problem with the talent taking it.
I'm more worried that she's going to make a lot of children sad by keeping the T-Rex occupied. Poor things.
They'll be fine without him. I'll make up for it in my own act. You hear now, like, the hug fiesta from Tedward is starting to come to a crescendo. It seems like you don't have a lot of time left to get Terry onto stage.
But wait, what if you use him in your act?
Go on.
What if you ride the dinosaur while granting wishes?
She thinks about it for a little while. That would be pretty interesting. Be quite a show of power if I came out on a real dinosaur, wouldn't it? Kids would be so
juggling at the same time? Oh, they'd be so impressed.
Oh, a juggling dinosaur. And they won't know that he just juggles. They'll think I taught him to juggle, except for the kid who dreamed him up, of course. But we can just ignore that one. I can silence that kid pretty easily.
Or you could say that you granted his wish.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
Advantage since all of us are doing and helping each other?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Who wants to do it?
Not me.
I'm busy getting candy.
Sure, I got a shot with advantage. Oh, wonderful. Can I ask the bow tie for another try by chance?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You request. You hear a great voice beam out from above, and you hear the voice say, "Yeah, absolutely."
Okay, there we go. That's
hey! And she goes, "You know something? That makes so much sense. The child will think I granted his wish, and I don't even have to waste magic on that wish. This is a good idea. This is why I keep important subordinates like you around. You, come with me." And points at you, ChoGal. We can get something to do with you, too. And is going to also just drag you out on stage as a part of this thing.
Give your best, ChoGal.
This is a bad idea, but okay.
I will presto and cover him in gold glitter.
You can tell that ChoGal is very much still under the thrall of this woman as she's going to like walk out on stage. She hops on top of the T-Rex. You can hear the applause. From up front as Tedward is finishing up the act, and you can begin to hear Soam announcing Terry the T-Rex coming onto the stage.
We got 2 I think we're pretty good.
Yeah. Do any of you try and stop ChoGal or like prevent him from going up, or do you just let him get sucked into the act?
For the fun of it.
ChoGal.
Why would we stop?
I bedazzled him.
You guys are the worst.
I love that. All right. You guys bedazzle ChoGal very quietly. In your head, ChoGal, you're thinking to yourself, these guys are the worst. But outwardly, as you're getting like a glitter and stuff put on you and sent onto the stage.
I love you guys.
Yep, exactly. And mostly you just love the fairy godmother who you give lots of candy to. And you move onto the stage where the fairy godmother begins kind of her act. And so you might be out of getting the next act ready, ChoGal, as you're up there on the stage, just kind of getting kind of made to do like kind of menial tasks and like kind of like hold the fairy godmother up at times and like go and like pick up children and bring them up onto the stage so they can get there quickly and things like that. As you can see from the stage now, it's absolutely packed, ChoGal, and you have a very good view of the crowd. As reluctant as you are and you don't want to actually be doing what you're doing right now, it is still very much fun, and it's good to see all of these unfortunate children so happy and like really excited, like even you, because a lot of the children are like,
I do love children.
Yeah, a lot of the children look at you and they're just like, oh, it's like Kurogan, the great and powerful, and they're all kind of looking at you in your Kurogan costume, but with like really scary hair, with like a really scary hair.
Elysia, standing at the edge of the stage, will cast Enlarge on ChoGal, so he is a big Kurogan for the kids.
Oh, wonderful! The kids all adore it, and the act is kind of continuing. But you have another act to prepare while ChoGal's out there, kind of hamming it up a little bit, kind of leaning into it at this point. It doesn't pull on you as much if you kind of lean into it, ChoGal.
All right, we got Dancer Rate of 5,000 next, I believe.
Yeah, the Dancetron 5000. And there is no question about what the Dancetron 5000 is. You see a big dancing, it's a very boxy looking robot over on the side of the room, and it's just kind of like break dancing and moving its arms in a very typical robot dance. It's got like a piece of cardboard in the corner, and out of its chest you can hear kind of like a low, very kind of like 8-bitty beat that it's moving around to. And it just looks at you. Greetings. I am Dancetron 5000 programmed to boogie. And it's just dancing. It looks at you as you approach.
Hello.
Greetings. Would you care to get down?
Nah, save your energy for the stage, bud.
I wish I could save my energy for the stage. I can't stop. And it's continuing to dance. I actually can't control my legs. They're out of control. And in more ways than one. One could say off the hook. It goes into kind of like a downward spinning breakdance. The legs all of a sudden extend above it as it's like spinning on top of its head, and the legs are twirling above it like a helicopter in a perfect whatever that move is technically called. I need all of you to make me a dexterity saving throw as this all of a sudden happens.
Okay.
I have danger sense, so I will.
Oh yeah, you have advantage for sure.
I get hit in the face. Well, at least I'm not concentrating on suggestion anymore to make a con save.
Alright, yeah, Jesus. All of you suffer. Oh, not too bad, actually. All of you take 9 points of damage as the legs kind of just batter all of you in this whirlwind of robot force as it continues to kind of swing around.
Ow.
Yeah, you all take a beating, and he goes, "My apologies. Just getting down. I can't stop. As I said."
Is that including me?
Wait, what do you mean?
Did I also get kicked?
Oh wait, you had advantage. I'm sorry, I forgot. No, you are good. You ducked beneath the quick kick, taking no damage. You sense the danger, Othgarurt.
It's just continuing to, it just keeps dancing. I don't know how I will get onto the stage, as I can't move other than...
Are you willing to go to the stage?
Yes.
How far away is the stage, Pete?
About 100 or so.
Oh, excellent. Well, I can always take you there. I have methods. See these scissors? These scissors can take you there, if you want.
This is acceptable.
So, are we going to carry him?
I know, I
apologize in advance for my arms and legs. They are too funky to stop.
I have a dimensional scissors, which lets me do dimension door. That's what I plan on doing.
The creature is larger than you. It is a large creature.
What a bastard.
Could he use them with his
Can I
back?
cast a nudge on me by chance?
Okay, but only if you dance with him on the stage.
Fine, it's easy enough.
Does it look like Woosh would be big enough to dimension door with the robot if he was enlarged?
It does not.
How about we... Do you have someone else who has large reduce?
You cannot stack. You cannot stack it that way.
Reduce him and enlarge me.
If you guys have a way to do that, that would definitely work.
I will twin spell enlarge reduce to reduce
Oh damn!
him and to enlarge
Radical.
Woosh.
Okay, then I'll dimensional scissors on stage when he's ready.
Okay. The robot kind of shrinking down, and it kind of continues to just. It continues to dance. It's dancing a little bit slower in its smaller size, which you would have thought logically that it would have gone with like the speed itself up route, but it's now kind of like doing some more kind of like jazzy slow dances in this move. And Fluffy, you are big. You're hearing kind of the applause coming from the stage as
I literally snap my way on stage with the dimensional scissors.
Yeah, you're kind of making your bow on the stage, ChoGal, and as you're bowing down, you feel the hold on your brain kind of suddenly get released. And then, all of a sudden, behind you, Soam's kind of walking out on the stage to introduce the next act, and you see as just scissors start appearing in space in front of you, like cutting just a line in the air, and Fluffy steps through with a Dancetron.
Whoosh!
Oh, I'm sorry, your name is Fluffy on the thing, as Whoosh steps through with a big robot Dancetron, which is already in the process of boogieing.
No! This is not what I planned for!
Yeah, and ChoGal, you're back. You're good.
Yeah!
And
yeah,
you immediately walk off the stage. The fairy godmother's kind of waving, just thank you all so very much.
I'm waving also while I'm waving bye.
Terry kind of is moving off the stage, and you watch as the hold also leaves kind of him, and he goes, I'm gonna go eat that bear. And he kind of just starts running very quickly and stomping off the stage.
Have a good meal!
Actually, not even my problem. Wait, stop! You can't let someone just eat someone like that.
I'm dancing on the stage with the robot. Here's my performance check.
Elysia will slowly undo the enlarge reduce, so the Furbolg slowly shrinks as the Dancetron slowly grows. As the Turtle slowly shrinks and the Dancetron slowly grows.
That is awesome. Yeah, so as you're doing this, you're doing all these kind of like cool dance moves like in conjunction, and you're doing kind of like the thing where you do the worm with your arms and like pass it between the two of you as you slowly kind of switch forms. The Dancetron...
I go into my shell, and while he spins, he spins me as I'm in shell form.
Okay, yeah, he takes you in the shell, and he does a couple of, like, dance moves where he's, like, almost juggling you like a soccer ball a couple times, and in the shell, of course, it doesn't hurt, and he spins you around a few times, and at the end, he kind of tosses you high up into the air and throws you over the back of the stage, and over, kind of back where the rest of your allies are. It seems like he's got a way to go, but there's a lot of applause, and it seems like you're pretty sure that you outdanced the Dancetron 5000.
Oh god, he's a sore loser. He kicked me off because I was better.
Yeah, he's definitely a little bit upset. But the Dancetron
makes no sign of the case, as all the Densitron is programmed to do is cut rugs. So yeah, you're now just kind of hanging out in the backspace again, and it seems there's only one act left for the night after this.
So who's our last act?
Oh, yes, of course. So you have Big Barnabas's... yes. Big Barnabas's barking troop.
Oh, they'd be the dogs.
Yes.
Alright, let's go see if what trouble they're bloody in.
And you hear the dogs just kind of... and they're kind of singing in this kind of howling chorus. It actually sounds very pretty with all of them working together in the chorus. And you see them as they continue to kind of rehearse and train. They're all kind of doing different. They actually have like synchronized dance moves. The smaller dogs kind of form pyramids on top of the larger dogs, and it's a really impressive looking act. And the kind of front of them, you assume this must be Big Barnabas is a huge old Saint Bernard, who, as you kind of get closer, he goes, "Hey there."
Hi there, bud.
Hi.
Are you ready for performance? You're up next.
Oh yeah. We're real excited. We describe ourselves as the consummate professionals. We'll be completely ready to go.
Oh god. I think it's really bad.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that.
That's fine.
No, you're all set. Everyone's ready to go, right? And you see everyone just kind of, all these varying dogs of different sizes go. Just bark their kind of affirmation, and then they kind of get to one dog, and he goes, yeah, I'm ready, boss. And it's kind of a bulldog. Yeah, I'm ready, boss. But we're kind of missing. We're kind of missing Bingo.
What's his name?
Bingo is his name-o. Oh, Bingo is one of the star performers in the act. I mean, his understudy's here and ready to go. But we don't like to use him if we can't. He's does his best. And you look over and he points at a dog. It's kind of one of those mop dogs with the hair that extends over the eyes. And you hear him kind of call out. Yeah, I'm ready, boss. Put me in. And he kind of runs over and just crashes into something. And he goes, yeah, he can't see too good with all that hair over his eyes, and he won't cut it. So he's not a great... he's got a lot of heart, and we respect that, but we'd prefer if we had somebody else, and the dog's all kind of like, we want Bingo, and Bingo's he's a treasure. We love him very much. All of us do. Isn't that right, pups? And the pups all kind of bark again.
Oh, what if while we're looking for Bingo, we get some hair ties and put his hair up?
Oh, yeah, that'd be, well, no, he won't do that. That's what I'm saying. He refuses to go with his hair tied. And he's actually never seen the act, so he just kind of thinks he's doing the dances when he's practicing because his hair's tied up, but we just don't tell him that he's doing a bad job because Bingo's always here.
Oh.
So if you go find Bingo, that'd be just great. That'd be
Alright, let's go. I'm gonna go to a high place and start looking around.
What does Bingo look like?
Bingo, he's a terrier. You want more? Usually, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. It's just the two legs don't need much more than that because they don't see a lot of the individual differences. But he's a terrier. He has some kind of nice patterning around the eyes. They're kind of some almost like freckles, like you would call them. He's got whiskers, but one of them is missing. One of them whiskers is missing over kind of ice. Now they're very subtle. It's kind of some of his heritage. You see his tail. It's a little bit on the longer side, and his right paw's got kind of a white patch on it. The front right paw, that is.
Okay.
Would you say that he is a good boy?
Oh, he's a great boy. Hey, but you could say he's a good boy for sure. We're really, I think that we're all good boys and girls, isn't that right? And they all just kind of open their mouths and smile and kind of pant a little bit.
Yes, you all look like good boys and girls to me.
Can't wait to make those kids out there so happy. They just love the talking dogs. So yeah, he's a great dog. If I had to guess, I mean, he loves kids. He was probably just going around hanging out with some of the kids. Is my best guess. We don't have much time.
Do you know which direction he might have gone to find the kids?
You know, he kind of looks over and looks to that one that was talking before. You got any idea, Clyde? And that bulldog kind of steps forward. You know, boss, if I had to wager a guess, I would say they went that way. He was kind of eyeing some of those candy zones. And he points over to the kind of side of the tent out which Terry and you, ChoGal, had left previously.
Okay, well, ChoGal's gonna go that way.
All right.
You kind of see which way the fairy godmother went when she...
The fairy godmother just kind of sat back down and is just kind of going about. It looks like has taken control of Terry again and is once again kind of bossing around the T-Rex. But it looks like she's also taken to riding him now instead of actually just having him go get candy. It seems more efficient that way to her. But she's out of the section anyway.
I would like to go ask her about...
Yes, darling. Oh, I don't know anything about a missing dog. What do you want from me?
Did you, by chance, happen to ask a favor of him?
You see, when you're a fairy godmother like me, you can concentrate on quite a few spells, but when I saw that one right there, well, he was a lot more valuable than a dog, pointing at you, ChoGal. So I gave one up, and yes, indeed, I suppose so.
Is there any chance you could potentially call him back?
Oh no, he's no longer in sight. Once I let go of him, he's just wherever he is. But I had sent him around out there to grab me some candy.
ChoGal's already there.
Alright, yeah, ChoGal. You're kind of running. You're kind of running in that direction. I assume everyone else is kind of following?
Yeah.
Yes.
I will follow.
I'm just trying to think up clever ideas. I'm following.
Okay. You kind of continue in this direction, and sure enough, you see a dog that very much matches the description. It's a little bit past the candy, and it's moving into kind of the woods that are on the outskirts of the carnival grounds. And you see a lot of the children. There's not a lot of people here at this point. The Dreamwalker monks have mostly assembled around the auditorium. Everyone's really gathered at this central point, so it's kind of quiet here. And over underneath a copse of trees, you can see the dog sort of walking and just standing, and it seems to be talking. You can't really hear it. You can't really hear what it's saying from where you are, but it is talking to a kid who's sitting on the ground near it.
I'm gonna go over.
All right.
Bingo!
As you get up closer, you can see the dog returns over as you look at him. As you call out his name, he turns around and he just goes, "Yep, I'm Bingo," and he has a very kind of like deep voice coming out of a small to mid-sized dog, and he kind of looks back at you. What's up? I was just talking to this. Oh yeah, tell him I'll be right there. It shouldn't be any problem. I'm a consummate professional, as are all of the dogs here. I'll be there right on time. I don't know why I ended up out here in the first place, but no matter, I'll be back for the show. Never miss a show, but this kid kind of looks down at the kid. Acted a little bit off, and the kid is backing away, and he's kind of on the ground, like scooching backwards. I love kids. Just wanted to be friends with them. Usually they love to pet or, have me do tricks, which I pretend like I am not insulted by at all. But this one seems a little bit. This one seems a little bit off, and the kid's kind of like edging away, and as you guys kind of get closer, he just points at the dog and goes, just goes, "Kill it! Kill it! Kill the dog! I hate dogs! I hate dogs!" And he's kind of backing. He's kind of backing away and edging over to the side.
I'm gonna kneel down and stick my hand up. Why do you hate dogs?
Doesn't matter. I'm terrified of dogs. So many dogs today. Why are there so many dogs today? And he seems furious. It was fire. It was first with the fire, and then it was the snakes, and now there's dogs everywhere. I can't take it. And he just seems absolutely. He seems absolutely terrified.
I cast Calm Emotions.
Yeah, you cast Calm Emotions on him, but before you get a chance to do that, you see him just kind of, like lay down on the ground, and he seems to just sort of pass out.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And the dog goes, "Yeah, kind of weird, huh?
Yeah.
Don't you agree? I mean, who doesn't like dogs? What a strange kid."
This is
Hey,
very weird.
I'm going to put my hands over the dog, or not the dog, but the kid, and I'm just gonna, just in case, lay on hands, like the purify version.
Okay, yeah. As you kind of put your hands on the kid, you feel something coming apparently out of his head. Not but a moment after he passes out, you watch as a strange sort of darkness begins to pour out of his forehead, and this kind of shadowy ichor begins to kind of bubble out of this child.
Protection from good and evil, the child.
That is wise. And I would like you all to probably roll for initiative at this point.
Okay, so can I retcon the calm emotions then?
Yeah, you don't have to have cast the calm emotions because that happened before the...
Okay. So one more second that was supposed to.
14, 12, and we will go with... wait a minute. Sorry, guys. My name didn't come up. That's odd. Why is it not coming up? There we go. Oh man, last. So you watch as this thing is kind of this ichor is kind of coalescing on this individual's head. You watch what looks like a dog pours out of his head, but this dog appears to be made of kind of whirling shadows that barks at you, and it begins. You see kind of like froth at the creature's mouth, and yeah, it looks very angry and upset, and more of these creatures begin to kind of pour out of the head of this thing, almost like a stream as these shadow and haunting dogs hop out. These nightmare hounds take the stage. The first to act in this instance is ChoGal. What do you wish to do?
ChoGal immediately stands. It cracks his neck and then breaks out the Frankenblade.
Alright, you pull the Frankenblade.
And it is currently during the Carnival of Souls, so it adds 2d6 damage of my choice, so it's glowing with radiant energy.
Alright.
And I'm going to take a couple of swipes. Closest hellhound thing. And... 1. The 16 hit.
16 absolutely hits.
And then... that one misses. That one definitely misses.
Yes, that is the case. So you swing your Frankenblade down. It slashes into one of the hounds, which strikes it. As you hit it, it completely just evaporates with the single swing. But more of these creatures are pouring out of this child's head by the second. That is going to bring us then to Othgarurt. What do you wish to do?
First, I will turn back to the dog, Mr. Bingo, for a moment, and urge him that it's probably time to go inside.
Bingo, like you turn around and go, you go to urge Mr. Bingo to run around and go inside, and you see he's already scampering off towards the tent, and he's just going, absolutely not dealing with that. No, sir, at all.
Make sure it's time for the show. We'll deal with this.
Consummate professional, I said that already, as he's running away. But yeah, that won't take your turn or anything. You still have your turn, Othgarurt.
Then there is a kid in danger, and I do not like that. I have a frenzied rage.
Okay, damn. You feel your anger bubbling up over, and you enter a rage as a bonus action. You still have your action remaining.
Then the first thing I shall do is charge towards one of these malicious dogs and strike at them with my Frankenblade.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make me an attack roll. You can attack recklessly, or are you just going to attack normal?
I shall attack recklessly.
All right, make me an attack roll with advantage.
That's
Yep.
not what I meant to click, but...
Well, take it. Take that hit. Take that crit. Or I guess it would be maybe still do more damage with the Frankenblade, but up to you.
I guess it would do more damage.
Yes, I will be trying to get this to actually work.
There we go. A 12 does still hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that. All right, you strike at it for 6 acid damage and an additional 10 points of bludgeoning damage. As you smash into the dog, this one dissolves into smoke, and the green ichor that remains kind of disappears. You have another attack left if you wish to make it.
Do I?
Or actually, what level are you now? I thought you were level 5, but are you only level 4?
Yes, only level 4.
Okay. In that case, that is all for your turn, I assume?
Yes.
Alright, that is going to bring us to Woosh.
Here's my plans.
What do you want to do, Woosh?
I will Bardic Inspiration, our barbarian who's raging.
Alright, you do so.
Alright, here. Alright, come on, you can do it. Save this child's life.
Excellent.
And then I'd like to Vicious Mockery as my action on the Is there a Hound out still?
Is there a hound out? Yeah, there's actually, like I said, they're kind of pouring out very quickly. Right now, there's actually 5 of these hounds out.
Are the 5 out surrounding the child by chance?
They're all kind of mixed up. They're running out and kind of getting up near everybody. It's intertwined. If you're trying to do an AoE, it's going to be hard to not hit.
Yeah, okay, then I will...
I mean, children can't die. It's unpleasant for them to get hit, but...
Okay, I'll just use the Wand of Orphan Harm on one of them.
Okay. How much? Roll the damage. You hit, for sure.
Just on one of them for time being. Just one charge.
Absolutely. All right. You fire your magic missile, your Wand of Harm Orphan, which flies forward and strikes one of the hounds. You watch as a 4th missile flies out, and just you hear in the distance over in the crowd of the unfortunate children, you just hear just a kid just go, ah! All of a sudden, like 20 feet away from you, as you also strike a small child. This kid wasn't an orphan, it would seem, though. And you also kill the shadow hound that you hit. It disappears. Or the nightmare hound.
And I'll just move further back if I can, unless I'm engaged with one.
Nope, you're not engaged with one as of yet.
Then yeah, that'll roll it. I'm good. My turn.
Should have wished for an shield, brooch of shielding from the fairy godmother.
Well, Elysia, what do you wish to do?
Elysia will spend her action this round to suddenly surge forth in holy moonlight as she begins to rise up off the ground, and holds out an arm to summon forth Monty!
Alright, you call upon your snake, which coils up around your hand and gets ready for your spell casting. And your wings spread out from your back. Is that all for your turn?
I will move so I'm about 30 feet right above the child, and that will end my turn.
Okay, and you watch as out of the child on this turn, interestingly enough, Elysia, you assume that you were safe from dogs, and then you see as out of the back, out of this child comes a few more hounds. There's now a total of 6 of the hounds as 2 more hounds kind of pour out. Additionally, you see
a dog that is significantly larger begin to coalesce. It has 3 kind of shadowy heads that are all barking kind of in unison. Additionally, you see it has a pair of like black leathery wings that kind of pour out as some kind of strange, it looks like a chimera that was just made of, it's just an all dog chimera, it looks like, which is a little odd. Well, it's like a Cerberus with wings that can breathe shadow, which is what it's going to do. I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw.
I moved back. Does that include me?
You will get a +1 if you're within...
How far back would you say you move?
Full movement.
Yep, you're good.
Am I still in
you are also not good, so I guess this is just Othgarurt and ChoGal. I need you to make dex saves.
7, yeah, wonderful that.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit. And you have advantage naturally, so Othgarurt, you succeed, as both of you take half of that necrotic damage. ChoGal, you take 34 points of necrotic damage, but Othgarurt, you take half of that. So only 17 points, as this creature lets out a vicious howl. Yep, and then the other dogs are going to run up and attack. The 6, since they're limited to the ground, 2 of them will kind of charge at each of you. Or actually, I think 3 of them are going to penetrate the back lines because they assume that their boss has kind of control of the situation, provoking an opportunity attack from each of you, Othgarurt and ChoGal.
Taking that. 13 probably doesn't hit, does it?
13 does hit on the more mini guys. And 24 definitely hits. Roll damage on that Frankenblade, Othgarurt. Well, I don't know if you actually are capable with the Frankenblade.
Also, rerolling that 1. It's actually a 9 points of damage plus 12.
Jesus, yeah, okay. You both, as you're kind of swinging around backwards with your respective weapons, the 2 shadow hounds, or nightmare hounds that you slice, both of them just dissolve. The one kind of goes through to the back line, attacking you, and then 2 of them are going to attack each of you, Othgarurt, or one of them is going to attack each of you, Othgarurt and ChoGal. So each of you have one coming at you. That's you, Woosh, which I know misses by a mile. That's against you, ChoGal. Does 19 hit you?
19 hits me.
Oh, geez, you take 13 points of piercing damage. And then that's against you, Othgarurt, which it has advantage because you attacked recklessly. That's a 17. That's 5 more points of piercing damage, which is halved because of your rage to 2. And that's all for the foe turn. The dogs continue to howl. There's 3 of them that are still kind of standing up, of the smaller ones, and then the big dog. As we move to the top, which was, I believe, you, ChoGal.
Yeah, ChoGal's feeling pretty bad right now. He's going to just lay on hands himself a bunch.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you going to lay on hands yourself for?
30 points.
30 points. Oof. ChoGal just kind of, I imagine you pound your chest once, and then all of a sudden, you're just good.
I'm better. Fine. I'm going to bonus action. Can I do that? Yes, bonus action, Valve Enmity on, the big doggo. Big shadow douche.
Okay. What is your vow? What does ChoGal say when you vow of enmity? Vow of enmity.
You will be destroyed.
Especially in the Dread Helm, it is terrifying. Anything else on your turn? Or actually, vow of enmity is
it's a bonus action.
That's radical. Awesome. All right. In that case, that's going to bring us to Othgarurt. What do you want to do? Othgarurt?
Remember, you do have Bardic Inspiration, I believe.
I think I just recalled that I have resistance to piercing unless these hounds' fangs are magical.
Oh, no. And even if it's magical piercing, you still resist that as a barbarian. So yeah, you only took 2 damage from that attack.
Which which will help me out greatly in the long run.
And what do? 3 of them still stand, one right in front of you, and then there's the big one.
Then I shall strike down the one in front of me.
All right.
And then move to strike down one of the others.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me an attack roll for the first.
And I shall once again strike recklessly.
All right. I admire your courage. 12 hits. Or 20 hits, my bad. And at this point, looking at your damage, it's impossible for you not to kill one of these smaller hounds with the strike. So yeah, you don't even need to roll damage unless you want to, because it's fun, which I don't blame you. You strike out the first hound, and it's taken out with the swing.
Then I shall move on to the next.
24 hits. Roll damage on that one too. If you so wish.
I do. Just one moment. It's being slow on me.
No problem. Yeah, and again, the sword swings again, and the hounds are both cast aside. One remains on the back line, kind of in front of Woosh, but the path to the larger foe in front of you is now completely opened. As we move on to Woosh. Woosh, what do you wish to do?
First, yes. I was still surrounded. How many little ones are we surrounded by at this point?
There's only one little one left, and it's right in front of you.
Oh, excellent. I'll try to Frank this same thing. Let's give it a jab.
All right, you get him. Presumably. Yeah, you guys have not missed one yet, which is not actually super low AC. You stab into it and finish it off.
I chose cold damage, so that makes a difference.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because as it dies, it becomes an icicle as you stab the kind of Frankenblade rapier into it.
Okay, then I don't have much. How's the barbarian looking?
The barbarian is, I think, looking pretty beat up.
Alright, buddy, it's okay, you're fine. Just here's a healing word. For fuck's sake.
Am I fair to say that, Othgarurt?
Healing word is second level.
Yes.
It does not add my wisdom, that's not charisma. Plus 4 to that.
Okay, so you gain 7 points of health. It's gonna be that's gonna be big for you here. As we move on to Elysia, what do you wish to do?
Elysia will look down to her companions and kind of call out, Othgarurt! Why am I blanking on the other name even though I've said it 1,000 times? ChoGal! The big one! As I will once again twin off to get yonder Othgarurt and ChoGal enlarged.
ChoGal and Othgarurt, both of you feel your forms swell and grow as you are both now large creatures fighting on kind of an even playing field alongside of this kind of 3-headed dog monster. Anything else on your turn, Elysia?
I will fly 30 feet away.
Fair enough. And so you're now, how far up are you? 60 feet?
30 feet up, 30 feet back.
Okay. In that case, you see the creature which kind of looks at you with a surprising amount of intelligence, and it decides it's going to pursue you. It kicks off of the ground. It's going to provoke an opportunity attack from both of the fighters standing in front of it. It also has to roll to see if it recharges its breath weapon.
I'm rolling all of those twos.
That's a 24, definitely hits. Would you care to take a stab with it as well, Othgarurt?
Yes, just a moment, sorry.
Yeah, oh yeah, no problem. I know your internet seems like it's acting up on you a little bit with those delayed rolls. That happens to me all the time. And what type, are you keeping with the radiant damage on that?
Yes, I'm keeping with the radiant damage.
What is the extra 3d6 plus 1d4?
Rerolling the twos.
Oh god, so much damage. Just tell me what the total is.
Let's see. 16 plus 4, 20 plus... Actually,
25.
It's, yeah, 25.
Alright, so yeah, you deal a massive amount of damage. Othgarurt, that also hits. Go ahead and roll damage on it. for a grand total of 13 points of damage. And as you're kind of both striking at it, you see motes of shadow go off of the hound, which as it takes off, flying very
Each
fast.
of you get a bonus D4. Bingo.
So
oh yeah, you get an extra 1d4. They don't seem to be in particularly affected by the radiant damage in this instance, no. Yeah, I'll just tack that extra 3 on. And the creature takes off and flies straight at you, Elysia, as it's going to strike at you with bite, and bite. It went to GM. Hold on, let me try that again. Bite, and bite.
Elysia is unconscious.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, how many of those hit?
All of them.
Can I cutting words to 16?
Yeah, absolutely.
1d6. So the 13 still hit you?
A 13 still hits.
Okay.
The creature flies into the air and just takes these huge chunks out of you. Elysia, from your high ground, you find yourself suddenly downed as you kind of collapse down to the ground. Were you taken down by the third strike specifically?
Let me double check this because that does matter.
Yeah, that's very relevant.
Only have one reaction. I can't cut
also, we become small again, right? Or medium creatures again.
Yep. I had 2 hit points when the
Very
third
good.
attack.
All right, so you don't have any failed death saving throws, which is a very big deal, as you collapse down to the ground, because that would have been 2 fails. And that brings us then into the initiative. The only creature that remains is this massive one. It's got to roll to recharge, which it doesn't once again. We move now to ChoGal. What do you wish to do?
ChoGal's going down.
He's in the air though. You can't reach him, sadly.
Yeah, he's 30 feet up right now.
ChoGal is?
No, the creature is
Oh
flying.
crap! You fall. You take damage. Oh god.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, that's one fail. That's actually 1 failed death save. That's correct.
ChoGal, as much as he doesn't want to, he's switching off from the Franken Blade to his Glaive of Blau.
Okay.
And bonus action, speaking of Blau.
Wait, does ChoGal have the Glaive of Lao?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I thought that was... Oh, yeah, of course it is. Yeah, that's ChoGal's always used that. I don't know why I thought that was Kurokan. Yeah, you pull out the Glaive of Lao and speak the word as a bonus action.
My bonus action, I get advantage against this guy because of my previous enmity.
Yep, go ahead and make your attacks.
Oh, man. Oh! Let's see, that one needs to be rolled, but here's another one.
It does hit. And the 16 does also hit. Let me know.
It's just, because I don't feel like mathing, but here's 44 damage for you.
All right, damn, that is a lot of damage. You... Oh my god, how is it that much damage?
The Glaive of Lao does,
Yeah, oh no, it's right, it's all correct. Never mind, I believe you. You deal 44 damage, that's crazy. The creature, you see the radiant slashes fly through the air up towards it, and the creature kind of lets out a loathsome growl. You can see it's dripping kind of like black blood from its form now after that mighty strike. And it now has its gaze fixed upon you, ChoGal, as we move now to your turn. Othgarurt.
I shall ready myself to approach and strike at it when it inevitably approaches him.
All right. Yeah, you ready an attack action. That brings us to Woosh.
Okay. Well, I guess. Well, why not? Let's give it a shot. For God's sake, why does it always do that? I'm gonna try and sleep it.
All right. Go ahead and roll your sleep.
19.
You summon the sleep into the space, and you see the dog kind of for a second. You see one of the heads start to kind of lull, and then they all just kind of and shake it off. The sleep does not have any effect. More than 19 hit points remaining.
Okay, that did not go as planned. Just move closer to my unconscious angel friend, and that'll be my turn.
All right, Elysia, I need you to make me a death save. You have one success as the creature flies down to the ground. It crashes in front of you, ChoGal. Othgarurt, you have a ready action. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
You have Bardic Inspiration. Would you like to use it?
You have Bardic Inspiration if you wish to try it.
Yes.
Okay, 1d6.
D6. Go ahead and roll D6. And a 12, unfortunately, is still not enough. You go to swing down, you remember the words of whoosh, and it still
Yeah, buddy. I believe in you.
The Frankenblade slides off of the sort of tough hide of the Cerberus, the flying Cerberus, as that creature now looks towards you, ChoGal, and is going to unleash a torrent of attacks against you. Bite. Jesus, were those against you, Elysia? Claw.
Right?
I assume none of those hit.
None of those hit me.
As you kind of hold up your fake Kurogan armor, the Kurogan armor is shredded by the strikes, and ChoGal's real gleaming armor is revealed underneath.
Alright, good. Man.
As we move to the top of the initiative, which is you, ChoGal. Yeah, that was
That's my Frankenblade.
2, 3, 4, 8 on that round.
That's my Frankenblade.
All right.
And unless you couple attacks.
It does not recharge its ability. All right, 24 hits and 25 hits.
Okay, I'm rerolling that 2 and that 1. So just 2 more d6. That's... Alright, so I just take this damage.
Let me know when the total is, but you hit with both of your strikes as the Frankenblade comes down, bathed in radiant light. And let me know what that total is as we move on to you, Othgarurt. The creature is once again within your sights.
I'm going to unleash my own flurry of attacks upon this beast.
Make me your attacks.
Oh wait, I can reroll a couple more dice because that 2 and that 2. Just reroll more dice.
Both hit. I assume these are reckless, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. For a total of... actually, that's just one of them. That's... Oh god, the Frankenblades are very powerful. As you strike with 25 and then an additional 21 for, oh god, another 40 damage round. As you hit for, 46 points of damage with your 2 swings. The creature is now and 32. As the 2 of you are now looking to be nearly finishing this creature off. It's very beat up at this point. Woosh, what's it going to be?
Well, what? I use off all 3 remaining charges left in my Wand of Orphan Harm.
Alright, roll the damage.
Level 3 for 18.
18 points of damage. The cascading missiles fly out of the wand. Would you care to describe your killing blow on this creature?
Let's see. How many missiles is that? That's like 5 missiles, right?
Yes.
1 missile per head, and then 2 in the front 2 paws, pinning him to the ground as he just sort of slumps. As a healing word as a bonus action as well, for my fallen friend.
Elysia, you feel yourself once more made healthy, and the missiles cascade outwards from Woosh, striking into the Cerberus Chimera in the 3 heads and 2 the front paws, and it just it curls back and lets out kind of a mournful howl as it dissipates. For a brief moment, it seems to collapse onto the ground, but then that ichor reforms, and that ichor just kind of evaporates into the air as another nightmare creature has been, in this instance, defeated. you return. You kind of run back over to the stage, where you see over on the side of it a few people kind of gathered around outside of the stage, where you see a couple of the Dreamwalker's monks and one kind of very young cleric from Bartholomew's shop who are trying to treat a kid who has 2 very huge bruises on his body from where he got magic missiled by the Wand of Harm Orphan twice. But he's okay.
No
He's can't die.
Me.
But there on the stage, you see the dogs up there singing, meaning your task has been completed. They are singing in what is a very beautiful chorus, moving in kind of choreographed routines for a while, and at the end they end up kind of woofing and barking in a much more kind of just beautiful and choral arrangement in their kind of which forms just a very lovely piece that you all see. All the children are just kind of looking transfixed. You can see the investors are up there. Soam is kind of walking amongst the top of the investors, taking checks from all of them as this dream variety show comes to a close here with this kind of the grand finale of today's festivities. And yeah, you've all succeeded in this. You've all succeeded in this adventure as you kind of get to watch the dogs hang out, which means each of you has earned 200 Bartholomew bucks and gained a point of experience. Congratulations, all.
That was great.
Very good, very good. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you're here, right?
Absolutely. As you kind of stand in the back, you aren't really able to push too much closer. The crowd is pretty tightly packed in. You see the leader of the Dreamwalker monk, Soam, take to the stage to close out the night's festivities.
Soam begins to address the crowd. We've had a great deal of fun here tonight. Of course, there has been a lot of fun with those talking dogs, and how about that dancing robot, everybody? Pretty incredible, the Dancitron 5000.
And the dancing turtle.
Very good, all such good fun, and well, we intend to keep that fun going very much over the course of the next several days, but it's very important to remember that as much fun as we're having here tonight, that this fundraiser at the end of the day is very much about the children. And we owe much of this fundraiser success to a wizard that I believe you all know very well. He's here now to make a large announcement about his donation for this year. So without any further ado, please welcome to the stage Bartholomew.
From behind the red velvet curtain, Bartholomew emerges, slowly dragging his feet across the ancient wooden stage. His eyes sag heavy with exhaustion. He approaches the front, grasping an oversized check, and moves to address the crowd.
Thank you for the introduction, so as you all well know, every year I like to do something charitable around the Carnival of Souls to brighten the scariest time of the year, if only for just a bit. This year is no different. It's one thing to make a child's dream come true with magic, but for many of these poor and unfortunate children, it takes good old-fashioned work and gold to put their lives on a better track. So it is, without further ado and with no reluctance, I present this check for 1 million platinum pieces to...
But Bartholomew does not finish his words, for in that very moment, sleep at long last overtakes the wizard, and he collapses upon the stage. With a crack like thunder, a titanic creature emerges from the wizard's head, a portal opening up above. Thrashing darkness appears, and 6 fiery eyes pierce the shadowy creature's visage. Framed by twisted black horns, this creature speaks and addresses the entire crowd, and Bartholomew alone. A voice reverberating with the echoes of hundreds speaking as one. It settles its gaze upon the slumbering wizard. Bartholomew, The Nightmare Court has long awaited this day.
You see as tendrils of darkness lash out from the creature's form, coalescing into two more shadowy entities.
Bailiff, Council, how pleasant of you to join us.
The two new shadowy figures that were each of them of human height. I'm getting a huge amount of slaps back for the record. They begin speaking to each other. Their voices singular. One of them steps forward. Oh, Bartholomew, did you truly believe you could keep us locked away forever? I would have expected more of you. The other one responds back in time. Bailiff, we haven't the time to gloat. I expect better of ourselves. Levy our accusations, read the wizard his rights, and let us proceed. The other one speaks once more. Bartholomew, you have been charged with crimes against existence. You do not have the right to remain silent. Everything you have done and will be used against you in the Nightmare Court. You have the right to an attorney, he turns to the other, and we of course will assign you one. Whether you understand the rights read to you is completely irrelevant, I assure you.
Suddenly a blast of eldritch energy strikes the bailiff as Bartholomew's adventurers charge the stage. In an instant, the three shadowy figures reform as one, eyes burning with an inhuman rage. Silence!
The massive figure's words echo outwards, scattering the adventurers, the assembled Dreamwalkers, and even the children like a huge wave of force.
Bartholomew, the Nightmare Court holds you accountable for your crimes. You will be tried. You will return with us. And you will be tried by a jury of our peers. You will be found guilty.
As the towering figure grasps the limp Bartholomew's form, it turns and goes to exit through the Nightmare Gate. As the portal stands open, you watch as countless of shadowy shapes begin to stream outwards into the world. And the voice speaks once more.
And when this is done, before you die, you will come to know what a world would be like without us in it.
Hey there, folks! Do you know what time it is?
Pete and Jeremy's Halloween time. Pete and Jeremy's Halloween. Pete and Jeremy's Halloween time. Pete and Jeremy's Halloween. Pete and Jeremy's Halloween. Play and Pete and Jeremy's Halloween. Pete and Jeremy's Halloween. Play and Pete and Jeremy's Halloween. Pete and Jeremy's.
Pete and Jeremy's Halloween time.
Pete and Jeremy.
Come and have some fun, it's Halloween. Pete and Jeremy's Halloween time. Celebrate Halloween with we. Pete and Jeremy's Halloween time. So many scary things to do. Pete and Jeremy's Halloween time. We promise that we will frighten you.
Pete and Jeremy's Halloween.